In this video, I'll be talking about permutations. So I'll start with a simple example. And in this example, I'm just considering one set S, consider two elements A and B, or maybe we consider A and B are two objects. Now, if the question is something like that, how many ways are there to pick one element? How many ways are to pick one element from set S? So in that case, either we can pick the element A or we can pick the element B. So we may simply say there are two ways. And in this, of course, we are considering that A is not equal to B. So these two objects that are in this set, they are different elements. And now in the same question, if I want to ask how many ways are there to pick two elements from the set S, and we notice that in the set S there are only two elements, so we will simply say one way, because in that case both the element A and B are picked together, and so there is only one way in which we can pick both the element. But if the question is how many ways we can arrange two elements from the set S, now in this case this sentence about arrangement is very important. So when we pick two elements, so either the first possibility is that we have selected A element and then we have selected the element B, or at the first place we selected the element B and then we placed the element as A. So there are two possible ways in that case. And here ordering does matter. So whenever we are interested in knowing the ordering, so what, or we may say we are interested in knowing about the position, which element or which object come at the first position, which object comes at the second position, and follow to the last position, whichever has been asked in the problem. So if the positioning or if the ordering matters, then we talk about the permutation. So now let's formally define what is permutation and what do we mean by R permutation. So we look formally at the definition. Let us consider a set A, A1, A2 up till An. This be a given set of n distinct objects. And here we can take R lying between 0 and n. So we define R permutation of A. This is a way of arranging any R objects of the set A in a row. So it's important that we are considering that in a row. That means we are considering that which object is placed at the first position, which object is placed at the second position, and so on. Or we may say how many ways are possible for the first position, and then correspondingly how many objects we can place in the second position, and we continue in the rth position, because we are considering R permutation. And if we consider R is equal to n, and noticing that in the set A we have n elements, so n permutation is generally simply what do we mean by calling it as permutation of A. For this, let's take an example. Now in this example I am considering a set A, and here let me to take four elements A, B, C, D, and all these A, B, C, D are distinct. So what are all the three permutation corresponding to A? So let's write all the three permutations of A. Now since we are writing three permutations, so that means here R is equal to 3. As per the definition, I am considering R permutation. So I have to choose, take out three elements from the set A, and then I have to permute. So here let's consider any three element A, B, C. Now A comes at the first position, B comes at the second position, and C comes at the third position. But it is also possible that I may select A at the first position, C at the second position, and then I have selected B at the third position. We can find another option B, A, C, and then we can find another option B, C, A. We can also find C, A, B. We can also find C, B, A. And we continue writing all the possibilities in which we get, and these are 24 in number. So 24 possible permutations. So if we have considered three permutation of the set A, so there are 24 possible permutation. And in general we use this notation for the R permutation as NPR. This stands for R permutation of A, and where the cardinality of the set A is equal to n. So that means in the set A we have n number of elements. And in the last example we can say we have taken three permutations. So in the last example, out of 4 we have taken 3 elements and then taken their all permutations. So this is 24. And now we prove this formula NPR, that is equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial. And to prove this formula, I will be using the multiplication principle. So here we will say we will use the multiplication principle, or you can say the product rule. This I have explained in my last video, link added in description. So for the multiplication principle, since we are taking R permutation, so for the R permutation, that means there are R places that are to be filled, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up till so on, Rth place. So let's say if we show them by boxes, and here also we show them by boxes, say this is first position, this is second position, this is third, fourth, R minus 1th and Rth position. Now in the first box, there are possibility we have n elements. So in the first box we can place n number of elements. So here n number of elements can go. And in the second box, once we placed one element in the first box, there are n choices for this. For the second box, there are n minus 1 choices. So we will say n minus 1 number of elements are possible to place it in the second box. And we continue. For the Rth box, obviously here we will say n minus R minus 2. And for the Rth box, it will be n minus R minus 1. So now simply by the multiplication principle, we can simply say there are n into n minus 1 up till so on into n minus R minus 1 choices, and this is what we use for the formula NPR. But now because we wanted to keep this in a nice formula in the factorial form, so here we can just simply write this as n into n minus 1 into so on n minus R plus 1. And then we write n minus R up till 1. So this is a term which is extra multiplied, and the same thing we divide n minus R and continuing till 1. So this is same as n factorial upon this is same as n minus R factorial, which is equal to NPR. And this is the formula that we use for the permutation, which simply follow using the mathematical principle and noticing that how many possible choices are there for the first position, how many possible choices are there for the second position, and so on. But here of course we have always considered order in mind. So because for the first case there are n choices, so we have considered it as n, and we derive to the formula NPR is equal to n factorial into n minus R factorial. We can note quickly NP0, this is 1, and simply by putting that into the formula we notice NPN, that is equal to n factorial. Now let's take an example to understand the permutation. In this question, let E is equal to ABC XYZ be the set of 26 English alphabets. Find the number of 5-letter words that can be formed from the set E such that first and last letters are distinct vowels and the remaining 3 letters are distinct consonants. So we need to construct a word of 5 letters. So let me to create 5 boxes, and there you need to create the word. It is said that in the first and in the last position, this should be filled by vowels, and here the vowel has to be different. So the vowel that is placed here in the first box should be different from the one. We know that in the vowels, this is only 5 A, E, I, O, U. And the remaining 3 should be filled by the consonant, and of course these consonants are also to be different, and so we know there are 21 consonants in English alphabets. Now as we see that for the first case there are 5 choices, so if I look this question simply by mathematical principle, we can see for the vowels there are 5 vowels. So for the first choice it is 5, and if I look the last box, so there are 4 vowels available here because we need to keep them distinct. As it is asked in the question, we need to place distinct vowels. So 5 choices are available for the first position and 4 choices are available for the last case. This is for the vowels multiplied by consonant. Now in the second position, when you want to fill this box from the consonant, there are 21 consonant available. So we'll place 21 multiplied by 20 because distinct, we require distinct. And the one that has been used in the second box, third will not be repeating. So here we will have 19 and we'll get the answer as 159600. So this question we can do it by simply the mathematical principle, or if we just look at by the permutation way. So by the permutation ways, say there are 2 places that we want to fill from the permutation. So if I look again to this question, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 5 boxes. And in the first and in this box, I want to place the vowels. So now in this placement of the vowels, there are 5 vowels which I want to fill into the first and into the last box. So out of 5 vowels, we want to permute 2 vowels. So you take any 2 vowels and then you fill it here and then you can permute. Permute means, of course, it does matter. Say we place a vowel A here and then we place a vowel U here, or we further permute them. We place a vowel U here and then we place a vowel A here, and similarly all other choices. So that is why we require 2 permutation, and the total vowels are available 5. Similarly, multiplied by 21p3. So here we require 3 permutations, and this will also give us the same answer, 159600. In question number 2, there are 7 boys and 3 girls in a gathering, and we want to know in how many ways can they be arranged in a row so that 3 girls form a single block. Now for the first part, in total there are 7 boys and then we have 3 girls. But all these 3 girls are considering in single block, so which means we will consider this as a single entity. So rather than counting this as 3, we will first count this as one block. And here we have 7 boys. So in total 7 plus 1 we have 8 persons. We'll count this as 8 person because of the single block or single entity condition given in the problem. So for 8 people we can permute them in 8 factorial ways, and then these 3 girls which we consider as a single block, these 3 girls can permute within among each other. So for example, G2 can come at first position, G1 can come in the middle, and G3 can come in this last position. So there are 3 persons, so they can permute within each other. So for their permutation we have 3 factorial. So in total we will say 8 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial is the number of possible ways, while we arrange 7 boys and 3 girls in a row considering girls all together. Now in the second part, we want to know the 2 end positions are occupied by boys and no girls are adjacent. So for this case, we first consider the arrangement for boys, and these are 7 factorial ways. We can see that, let's say the boy B1 come here, and then B2 boy can come here, B3, B4, B5, B6 and B7 boy can come here. Now it has been also said that the end positions are occupied by boys. So I am keeping boy at the leftmost and boy at the rightmost. So this is just one arrangement. This is any one arrangement. Now the possibility is that if we change the ordering, if I keep B2 at the first place or B3 at the first place, so the total number of choices in that case is 7 factorial. Now because the first and the last position is among the boys, now we have to keep the girls position as it is said in the problem. The girls cannot be adjacent. So only the girls that can fill in these 6 spaces. So these are the 6 spaces that can be filled by the girls, and we see that there are 6 spaces. So in total using the mathematical principle, we have 7 factorial arrangement for the boys followed by arrangement for the girls. Now 6 places can be taken by any one of them, G1, G2, G3. Once one girl goes into one of the arrangement, the remaining arrangement, so there are 5 places for the next girl and there are 4 places for the third girl, and this completes the total number of possible arrangement when we keep towards the end boys and we ensure that the no girls sit together next to other. Now let's see the third question. Between 20,000 and 70,000, find the number of even integers in which no digit is repeated. And for this problem, we can see we want to create an even integer between 20,000 and 70,000. So there are 5 digits. So let me do first keep a 5 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's say this is A, B, C, D, E. So I'm just considering, let A, B, C, D, E, this is the required even integer. So let's consider this as required even integer. And because this is even integer, so here we note that A can fill in the choices from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First of all, because we are considering this number A, B, C, D lies between 20,000, A, B, C, D, E, and here A, B, C, D is of course my digits, and this is lying between 70,000. 70,000. So now because this is 2 and 7, so for the possible choices between A, B, C, D is between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only. Because if you start any number by 1 and then you create 5 digits and of course you don't want them a repetition, so this number will not be greater than 20,000. So the only choices are that this number can start from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since it is 70,000, so it cannot be larger than that. So these are the possible choices for A. Similarly for the last digit E. Now last digit E, because we want an even number, so last digit can be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. These are the only possible choices, so that last number ensures that this is an even number. Now to count the number of cases, we'll make the first case. Let's say A belongs to even number 2, 4, 6. And now if A belongs to even number 2, 4, 6, so there are 3 choices for the first position. So let's consider this first position, or we may say the choice for the digit A. Now for the last case, because we wanted to ensure that this is an even number, once we fix in digit A here, that out of 3 any one digit comes here, the remaining 2, say for example this digit 2 is coming at the first place, the remaining 2 digits from here 4 and 6, and E can take, in total there are 5 choices. Out of 5, 1 has gone here, so for the E 4 number of choices. So E can have, we can say, note, E has 5 minus 1 choices, because 1 even digit is already used by the first position. And for the remaining middle number B, C, D, we can keep any number, of course, provided they are not coming from these 2 positions. Now 2 numbers we have already used. Total number of digits with us are available 10. So 2 digits are already used. 2 digits are already placed at the position A and E. At position A and E. So that means out of 10 minus 2, we only have now 8 digits, or the 8 numbers that we can place, and we want to place at 3 positions, so it is 8p3. So in total we get this as 4032. So this is the answer when we have selected A as the even number 246. What happens if you take A is equal to odd, and then of course both the sets are disjoint, so we will add using the addition principle later on. If A takes 3 and 5, in that case you see that A is an odd number, so the last choice for E 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, the digits are not repeating. So for A, for the first position we have 2 possibility. This is for A, and then this is for E, so there are 5 choices for E. And similarly for the middle we have used any 2 numbers, so 8p3. So this will give me the answer 3360. And now by using the addition principle, because in this case we have considered A as even, in this case we have considered A as odd, there is nothing common, so we can apply the addition principle. So we'll add these 2 numbers 4032 plus 3360, and this will give me the answer as 7392.